Hello, my babies. Hello. Oh. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's so cute. Alright, but that's not what you clicked on to see. Well, at least I don't think it is. Probably what you clicked on is doing a radio swap. So this is gonna sort of be a universal swap, just because taking a radio out of one car and putting it into any other car, or just having a loose radio and putting it in any car, is pretty much universal in how you do it. It's pretty much just slightly different wiring, and all of the wiring diagrams you can find on Google, if you don't happen to have one. So, I am just going to do it, that I am taking this $30 stereo out of the, out of the Sunfire that I am currently not driving, for obvious reasons, and I am putting it into my current daily driver that does not have a functional radio at all right now. So anyway, that's the gist of things, and let's get right into it. So, to start off, you need to, well, this is a 2004 Sunfire, but pretty much the general statement is you need to take off whatever cover is around this, which I have already done that. So now, the only thing I have that actually holds this stereo case in is one screw here and one screw here. And they are both Phillips, so I will use a Phillips. Alright, so the next step, once you have the stereo pulled out, is to then disconnect, if it is an aftermarket stereo, then you're going to want to keep the harness, so just where they are electrical taped or crimp connected or soldered, simply break them and keep the wires connected to the harness. If you have like a subwoofer, disconnect those, and then the antenna, you can pull that out as well. So that's what I'm going to do here. All of mine are crimp connected and or electrical taped, so I'm just going to be able to pull them. Alright, so I have just disconnected all of the wires from the car, and now I just have all of them in the harness in the back of the radio, and I also have a toggle switch that is wires going from both the positive and the negative. Toggle switch is completely optional. The reason why I have a toggle switch is in case I don't have like an accessory 12-volt wire, or like a toggle 12-volt wire, then you can force the stereo to only turn on and off, with the toggle switch. The proper way to do it is to have it wired to, what would be the term? You want to have it that like the stereo turns on and off, when the car turns on and off. However, some cars might not have that particular wire, and so you can either wire it to a toggle switch, or you can connect it to your fuse box, to a fuse that only has power when the car is on. Anyway, so moving past that, I am now done in the Sunfire, and I'm going to be moving into the Caravan. Alright, I am now in the Caravan. Hello, Tia, you little brat. And I got the stereo. Oh, pardon me. I got the toggle switch down here, and I brought the Phillips screwdriver. I'm probably also going to need a flathead to pry some panels off, and I might need like a Allen key of sorts to disconnect any bolts around here. When it comes to disconnecting wiring harnesses, anything like that, you can just use a flathead. And then I'm also going to use electrical tape to connect the wires. I know a lot of people don't like electrical tape, but that's sort of what they use from factory, and not everybody has access to a soldering iron or crimp connectors. Maybe you just want to do the project quick and you don't feel like running to Canadian Tire. That's totally reasonable. That's sort of the boat that I'm in, as well as I'm just not very good at using crimp connectors. I find I either like over tighten them and then I break them, or I don't tighten them enough and then they just slip out. So I'm just going to use electrical tape because I never have an issue with that. Also, feel free to critique my stereo. What happened was I bought it brand new for $30, and then I put it through a lot. Reason being is because I bought this, I bought this casing for it, this plastic casing that was supposed to make it fit in the Sunfire. However, the stereo did not fit in the casing, so I MacGyvered it to fit in the casing, which more or less is basically looks like I smashed it in until it worked. anyways, that's besides the point. I am now going to take this stereo out so I can put this one in. Okay, so to do that, basically, for your vehicle, you'll just need to figure out how to get this out. You know, kind of straightforward. But universally speaking, there is typically like just sort of push clips that hold the whole thing in. And so if you have a flathead, you can actually pry it out. And then anything else that you find doesn't budge, there might actually be a screw holding it in. So you can pretty much, like, say, in the Sunfire, for example, there are screws right here that hold in the panel. So you can check your glove box for if there's any panels in there, any screws in there, like any bolts in there. You can try prying off like the panels beside here, see if there's any holding it in there. Or maybe at the bottom, you know, like it looks like there used to be two right here. Just sort of look around. There will be a video on YouTube specific to your vehicle. This is just generally speaking how to do it universally. Okay, I'm back, and I got a flathead screwdriver. Okay, so, just gonna go around here, looking for any push clips that I can just pry this out with. Oh, there it goes. So you can just see how it popped. So now if I just pull on it, there you go. So now we can see behind here. Hello to you. This is sort of hard. Okay, I'm just gonna drop it. This is like a scrap band, so I don't care too much if something gets pinched. So anyhow, all that was holding it in was, like I mentioned, push clips, like these things here. So now moving to the back, we can see wiring harnesses. That would be for the temperature control, and then there's one up here, and then that is for, I guess it's for this, because the stereo is still there. So I'm just going to take a flathead and disconnect these and then come back. Alright, so I just disconnected the 3 harnesses, 1, 2, and 3. All 3 of them I just pinched and then was able to pull them, so it was actually very easy. I just zoomed out a little bit so you can see a little bit more. There aren't any crucial details that need to be zoomed in for this. So anyway, I can just take that and throw it away. Well, I'll actually just put it aside for now. Alright, now, moving that out here, I can see that the only thing now holding the stereo in are 4 Phillips screws. So this is sort of the same point that I was at in the Sunfire when I started. So I got the Phillips, and we're just going to undo those quickly. Alright, so just coming back, I took out those 4 screws, and then I just pulled on the stereo and got it loose. So now the only thing holding it in are here, the antenna, and then here, 2 wiring harnesses. I'm also going to quickly mention, the fuse right now is blown for the stereo in this van. The reason why I'm saying that is because I am not disconnecting the battery for that reason. However, if your fuse is not blown, you should disconnect the battery or at least unplug the fuse. Otherwise, you might accidentally, say, touch one of the wires against the side, and then you'll see a spark, and then you'll plug everything in, being like, oh yeah, whatever, it was just a spark, and then nothing will work. And that's because you just blew your fuse. Since my fuse is already blown, I don't care. Anyway, that's just a disclaimer. Alright, so I am taking the clippers here, and I am just cutting off the harnesses. Alright, so I just clipped off the harnesses, and I almost clipped this one, and I was like, hold on, and realized this is not for the stereo, so I don't want to do that. I just needed to clip these 2. So now, these 2 wires, you are going to be connecting to these wires for their according purposes. So, say, for example, there will be the wire for the front left speaker positive, and then say that's green. And then on this stereo, it'll be front left positive will be red. So then you connect the red to the green. And then you do that for every single one of these wires. And then once you do that, you should turn on the van and it should work. I am going to now switch to the wiring diagrams, quickly do a screen recording of that, and then I will actually connect the wires and then show you the end result, and then reassemble it, turn her on, and yeah, should be good. Alright, so I'm not 100% sure how well this screen recording is going to work, but pretty much I just want to show you how easy this is to do for any vehicle here. So I'm just going to pop into Google, and let's do Dodge Caravan stereo wiring diagram. Okay, there's a website that I normally use. Let's see. I guess, yeah, I should probably put the year. Oh, well, there's this here right now anyway. 2005 Dodge Caravan radio wiring diagram. Yeah, okay. Whether you're an expert installer, blah, blah, blah. This is that website that I always use for every car I've ever done this with, and they have the exact same description. I think they've just changed it so that there's like code for the web page, so then just like this, like the name will just change based on whatever you search for. Anyway, the wiring diagram actually does always change to be what you're looking for. So don't worry, it's not the same wiring diagram for every single car you search. It actually does line up. So yeah, this one here. So this is it. Yep, this is it. This is everything. So you just follow this. That's it. Alright, so I have gone ahead and I decided to, well, I mean I had to, just chop off the ends of all of these, so now it is exposed wire, so I'm able to tie them together, and I have a wiring diagram also on a web page of what these are, so I am going to, okay, this is the gist of it. Don't combine the colors. It is not green to green, red to red. It is function to function. So if gray is the antenna wire and blue is the antenna wire, then you do gray to blue. If red is the power wire and purple is the power wire, then you do red to purple. All right. Now that I got that across, I'm going to connect them all and then go from there. All right. So just a quick gist of things is I got the stereo going. I ended up using the toggle switch because I wasn't able to get it to work properly with the trigger constant wire. Sorry, I guess the switch wire. Yeah, I'm tired. I don't actually know if I'm going to upload this anymore. But, basically, general gist, if I do, I followed the wiring diagram, and I got all of these electrical tape together. Some of them are extra, and that's okay. That's probably just for the CD player, so I just snipped them off at the end, so they won't short on anything. And, it's also better if you, like, even like this, crimp them, or put a little bit of electrical tape on them. I'm not going to bother, though. And there we go. I just used some electrical tape, and I just tied them all together. Or not all together. I tied, like, each pair together, each couple together, so you can see there the corresponding pairs, or couples. And then they just go into here, and then it goes to the radio, and then I just have the toggle switch up there for now, and it works great. It's all good. For watching. I hope you got some sort of enjoyment or help from this video. Maybe it was just a good way for you to kill some time. Anyways, or I guess regardless of the result of this video in your scenario, any feedback would be much appreciated, whether it just be a like or a comment. Even just seeing the view count go up means something to me, because then it shows that I didn't waste a bunch of time recording. But that being said, even if I did, it's sort of beneficial for me because it gives me a little bit more practice with this sort of thing. All in all, it's been a good time. All right, have a good evening.